Hey y'all, hey. So today we are here to review SnowPiercer. SnowPiercer is back. It came out maybe like 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna be doing episode 1 and 2. 3 comes out tonight. So it's not just me this time. Would you like to say hello?
Hello, it's your boy True.
True. Okay. All right. So let's start off with how we got here. So, okay. SnowPiercer was on TNT. And then I don't know what happened. Something happened. They dropped them. And AMC has now picked them up. So we are now in season 4. So do you want to give a quick recap? I think you did good last time, giving a nice little recap of the show and where we are now.
End of the world, global cooling, I guess you can say. No one else is alive that we're aware of, other than the people on the train. Couple rebellions on the train, couple highlights on the train. Everything gets resolved, and now we are separated. One has found quote unquote Eden, and the other one's circling the world until they figure out if Eden's safe or not.
Okay. So that part right there is going to be a big theme, at least throughout the first episode, is the fact that the trains are split and how people feel about that and what's happened since then. So we start off and we see Till and Ben. So Till and Ben, they are going towards, it looks like a crash site on their snowmobiles. And when they get there, Till says it's negative 117 degrees and there's low radiation. So the radiation part,
I assume, comes from the missile that we seen from the previous season.
has to.
If not that, I'm not sure why the planet would be exuding radiation, unless there was like a nuclear facility nearby or something like that.
Yeah, that didn't make sense to me. But they don't know what it is, but they were there to collect some samples. And then one of the things that they were going to collect, spray painted on it in red, said, "Don't run." And then it was a circle of people who, again, I've said this, they remind me of the Call of Duty people from the Whiteout mission. From, what is that, Black Ops?
Modern Warfare 2.
There we go. Sorry. I'm taking it all the way back. Modern Warfare 2. So, yeah. So, they got them all surrounded. Then it says 9 months later. So, we see Layton, Josie, and Zara. They're all together with the baby. And, you know, as soon as I saw her and them in their nice little dynamic, dead. Sorry to spoil, but I knew she was going to die. I knew it. We can't have a happy family. That's not going to work. So, we then see, quote-unquote, New Eden, and everybody is outside. It's obviously cold, but it's not negative 117 degrees cold. Everybody seems to be, you know, kind of doing what they need to do. Somebody, I think Layton was the one who did the narration, pretty much saying that, you know, they're growing food, you know, but they're having, you know, a hard time with food, electricity, and weather, which, again, I would assume there's no way to even predict the weather, even if you could. I mean, I think what is her daughter's name?
Alex.
Alex maybe could help them with that, but I'm not really sure. Would she really be able to help them with the weather patterns like that? I know they were able to see the little spots, but in that type of environment, yeah, you don't know what the hell you're going to get. And they pretty much said that they still have yet to be in contact with the other train. So, do you like their little settlement that they have? Do you think they've made enough progress?
I think that's better than sitting in a cramped train. At least you get to see the outdoors, like, you know, in the previous seasons. The back of the train never seen the sunlight for years since they first got on the train. So getting out, being able to stretch yourself feels good. Overall, I would say yes. You know, there's going to be struggles. Obviously, it's not going to be summer always. I assume it was summer when they, you know, first got there. But they said 3 years later at some point in this episode. So 3 years, winters can be harsh. But yeah, I think I like the settlement.
Yeah. I am wondering though what a winter for them looks like there. I would assume that's like it's pretty rough. I mean, more rough than it already is. But yeah, I'm interested in seeing how the weather part really plays out and just how they built the settlement. So then we see Josie and Leighton and Zara. They're walking together. And you can see that there's like the camera kind of focusing in on Zara and the baby, because they have like a little quick conversation. They talk about how Josie's hand, is starting to get better. I mean, it's not ever going to be exactly where it was, but how it's starting to get a little bit better. And so they all split up, and again, so the camera is like following and focusing in on Zara and the baby, so that means clearly something's about to go down with them. So then we get into my favorite character. We see Ruth. I love Ruth. I say all the time that she reminds me of Effie from The Hunger Games. I really like her character arc. And so she's the council chair. And so she's talking to Leighton because, as we know, Leighton stepped down from being pretty much like, I guess, the council chair, the top guy that kind of runs everything. And so now that's her job, and he's pretty much just a councilman. So they talk about how they want to finish the bridge. Now, the bridge, correct me if I'm wrong, is for when the other train comes back around, correct? Yes. Okay. Leighton goes down to see the bridge and everybody that's working on there, and we see John and somebody by the name of Boki. They're fighting because I think it was because John was late, I believe, to work. Is that wrong? Drunk. Well, he was definitely drunk. He was real drunk, so he was fighting him and things like that. And so he ends up messing up his hand, and then he pretty much had to go see Zara. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So Leighton's having a quick conversation, and one of the conversations pretty much is that people are not really sure about the two trains joining together. So this was really at like the crux of the episode. Really, we don't even really have to keep going in order. If honestly, we can just kind of get to it. The argument is this, from my understanding. Some people feel like we made the decision to take the risk to go and find New Eden. Now that we've been here and we've been building everything up, why should we now let other people pretty much like reap off of the hard work that we did?
That's everyone that feels that way except John. John's the only one that's like, I thought this was supposed to be paradise. Don't know if anyone else feels the same way he does, but yeah, the debate right now is exactly what you said.
Yeah, and then obviously there's some people who feel like that, like John, and that, pretty much, although this is how I look at it. Yes, you'll have more people, but again, that's more help. That's more hands. That's more opportunity that you have to get things. So yeah, it's more people, but it's not like, again, just all you guys have to feed just these people while they sit there and do absolutely nothing. By the time they come, they might not really have everything that they need, maybe like resource wise to make sure that everyone's good, but they need to be doing whatever the hell they've been doing on the train this far. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't really see the problem with the two trains joining. Do you?
No.
So then we see the camera start to kind of pan in on Leighton, again, the same way that it did the baby. So then we have a council meeting where they're kind of playing cards, and during that meeting, again, the conversation about the two trains meeting up comes up again, and they pretty much said that they'll just kind of leave it to the people, which I think is the best way to do almost anything. So they're going to leave it up to the people. Now, in the midst of them playing, all of the lights go out. Now, again, my problem with them throughout this episode was simply the fact that there was just a lack of urgency. I don't want to say urgency, but a lack of care and preparation. Again, I understand that they're in the world, and so they don't really think that anybody's around. But my thing is, being on a train, you've seen how people can really be, and that's just being stuck on a train. There should have been some type of precautions, even for the possibility of what if there's people that's within your settlement, which we kind of end up finding out later that was the case, that can be turning on you. Because again, in the train, there was sometimes people that was on you guys' side that...
The rebellions.
Exactly. So I just wish that they would have paid attention a whole lot more there. So when... I think it was Javi. Was it Javi?
Who went to go get the turning power back on?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Javi goes outside, and when he goes outside, he sees that the lights was out pretty much because there was like this big ass plug from, I don't know, some type of electrical tower that was pulled out. So when the council kind of meets back up, Leighton makes a good point. Like, it's not like somebody tripped over that plug. No way. So after they talk about, that part, Ruth then pretty much like has a conversation with Leighton, and they talk about, again, the trains in the meeting, and Ruth, without saying it, is pretty much on the side of, I don't really think that we should merge with these people. I feel like it's because she's already stressed out with the amount of people that are there now, and she doesn't really know how it will be with these new people coming in, and how she would have to pretty much manage all of that as well.
I do believe she said, actually verbalized that she's on that side.
Yeah.
I don't think she tiptoed around.
I think at first she did, because remember in the middle he was like, is that what they're saying or is that what you're saying?
I think I do remember that like that.
Yeah, so at this point they're starting to look for Boki or whatever, and long story short, they pretty much find out that Alex has sent Boki out, because when Leighton goes to see her, she pretty much tells him, yeah, I'm the one that sent Boki out, because there's been like this little seismic activity. We've been having little earthquakes that's been happening, and I'm not 1,010% sure why. Also, earlier in the episode when we see Alex, Javi is trying to talk to her, about the fact that he heard some static coming over the radio, and that it could possibly be, the other train. Alex wasn't really super excited about it. It didn't seem like it. But she also had a nosebleed. So I'm not sure if the two are connected, but what are you thinking the earthquakes are from?
That could be a number of things, from space-related stuff to bombs to just ice shifting in general and melting, That's going to cause some tremors, I would assume. It's a lot of weight being lifted as the ice melts. But the nosebleed, I don't know. Going back into the radiation from the quote-unquote missile that went off that Ben and Till went to go see. Could be radiation. It could definitely just be radiation. For the nosebleed, at least. Like, that can't be for the seismic tremors.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's coming from. Like you said, I don't know if it's connected to the rockets. I don't know what the hell is going on. There's always something going on over there. So then we end up seeing Boki a little bit later. And we see him like walk towards the edge of like this cliff, and he pretty much releases a bird. And we also see Josie. Josie is out and about, and she sees that there is a broken, I don't know, I'm gonna call it like something that help with signals. Mm-hmm. That's all I got for it. Yeah, a transmitter type of box. And the transmitter is smashed. So that is sign number 2 that there's obviously something going the hell on here. So then a little bit later we see Leighton walking, and one of those little snow trains, little itty bitty small ones, come through, and when he opens up the door, it's Audrey. How do you feel about Audrey as a character?
I mean, welfare complex is weird.
She's insane.
She's, coming shaking back because of Till and stuff, so I like that dynamic. But overall, as a character, meh. There's worse people I've seen.
Hmm. She needs all the help that's possible. I've never seen nobody have a hold on somebody like that. Those were some uncomfortable ass scenes to watch.
Yes,
Hands
they
down.
were.
Hands down.
Yes, they were.
And we watch Game of Thrones. So that says a lot. So we have Zara. She ends up to go see John. Now John is staying at the top of a mountain. I'm not understanding. Do you get that? Do you get? I mean, he's losing it. Clearly. Yeah, he's losing it. Zara goes up there to go see him because she knows that he's hurt his hand again. And when she goes up there, he was like, you gotta really listen. Like, go outside and really listen. He says that SnowPiercer is dead and that he hears, like, you know, people talking in the wind. Now, I really thought when they went outside that she was going to hear some shit. But she didn't hear nothing. So, I don't know what's going on. I think he's a little off because that whole situation with LJ was a lot. Like, that was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think he might have a point to something. Then we have Audrey. We see Leighton bringing Audrey in. And then you see the lights, they're starting to go off again. Leighton pretty much says like, oh my gosh, we have a mole. Can I ask you something? Because this is something that's talked about and made fun of on the show. Do you think Leighton's a bad actor?
I think he has his moments of bad acting. As a overall, I won't say no. I like the show a lot because of him.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a thing about like people feeling like he's a bad actor. I feel like you said, he has moments, and like to me, those was one of those moments where he's like, we have a mole, and I don't know if it's because of how he said it or of the fact to me that like that's obvious that y'all have a mole. Like I think that's why I was like, come on now, like obviously, like look at everything that's happening, everything that's going on. But anyway, just want your opinion on that. So we see Roche, is that his name? I think his name is Roche. Yeah, Sam. He was watching the baby, and Dr. Hetwood comes in, and pretty much Sam gets booped upside the head by somebody that was with Dr. Hetwood. So then we see Josie, and she runs into Leighton. Leighton's, running out trying to figure out what's happening, and she says to him that she saw I think a snow car, which is something that they don't have nor no one else. So they know that there is something weird going on at play. So as Zara is coming back down the mountain, she hears a baby crying. She's the only person with a baby around here. So she runs and she sees Dr. Hetwood, and Dr. Hetwood is with a masked man. So you see Zara trying to get the baby back, and it's a whole lot of yelling and screaming. And so Josie pretty much, runs all the way up going towards there, and she runs into a man who says that he sees, Zara on the ground. She goes to go see Zara. Again, I knew that woman was going to die. You thought she was going to live this whole season?
Never crossed my mind.
I knew she was going to die.
Don't try to predict death in the show.
Yeah, I know. I knew it. The minute I saw, they cannot be happy. This is not a happy situation. So Zara pretty much, tells Josie, make sure that you take care of my baby and, all that good shit. So, they end up bringing, Zara back down. Leighton sees her, Josie tells him, that the baby is gone, and he starts freaking pretty much the hell out. So then we go back to Ben. No, is it Ben? Yeah, we go back to Ben and Till. And we see that the Call of Duty people are bringing them back into the train. And you see Audrey at the front. And they're like, we want you to take us to Melanie. And the episode goes off. I'm very interested in who these people are. What the hell they want. How the hell they been living this whole time. But it's always somebody on top.
Of course.
Always. People be having bunkers and stuff. People be knowing all of that good stuff. It's always going to be.
People have money like Wilford, so that is definitely, if not other trains, just other things keeping people alive. Like you said, bunkers and facilities.
Yeah. All right, but we'll be back for the next episode. Bye-bye.